Hi, everyone. I'm Jeraine Simmons, your podcast host for Ageless Ambition, where we focus on power, purpose, and the reinvention of every woman. Tonight, I have the pleasure of joining me, Diana McNeil Brown. She is a social light in the community, full of energy. She has joy. She's engaging. She's community centered. She's full of life. Diana embodies what it means to be connected, beautiful, and living life out loud. Welcome, Diana, to Ageless Ambition.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate those words.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So, on Ageless Ambition, we just focus on the journey to purpose. Okay, so we're going to go through some questions on tonight. So, what experiences most shaped you into the woman you are today, Diana?
Being a teenage mother, you
Mm,
know, having my children very young
okay.
really shaped me to make sure that I was educated and had a career to show them that no matter what circumstances you go through, no matter what trials or tribulations you go through, what obstacles you go through, you could still be successful. You could
Right.
still get that high school diploma. You could still get that degree. You could still be motivated to do whatever it is that your heart desire. So that's what made me the woman that I am today, being able to show my children, what sacrifice looks like, you know.
Mm,
And I'm first generation with a master's degree,
amen.
and I did that raising
Mm,
three kids and working three jobs, and just made the commitment that I wanted to show my children that they can do whatever they put their minds to. So
wow.
back and got my master's degree.
That's beautiful. I didn't know that you had your master's degree. Congratulations on
Thank
that. And
you.
that says a lot about who you are, who your character is, how motivated you are to actually succeed at that level.
Mhm.
Diana, what led you into finding your true power or that confidence that you walk boldly in?
My mother,
Okay.
my mother, when my sister and I were younger, believe it or not, my mother used to make us walk with uh dictionaries on top of our head for posture.
Okay. Okay.
Oftentimes people will say to me, "Oh, you conceited, you this, you that." No, I am not. It's not about being conceited. It's about being comfortable in your space and who you are. And my
Mm,
mother taught us that there's nothing on the ground for you. You always hold your head up high,
hmm.
you
Okay.
know? So my mother was my shero,
Okay.
and she was my true, what word am I looking for? She was my shero because she raised seven kids. My mother had,
Okay.
I'm the youngest of seven.
Wow.
And my mother was an entrepreneur. She owned a corner store, everything. She was a saleswoman, you name it. My mother did it. So that's where a lot of my background is from, and what I get, everything that I do is from my mom.
Wow. So
Mhm.
did your mom have that same level of energy that you have, that you carry, that same
Yep.
level of joy?
Yep.
Wow, that's
My mo-
amazing.
my mother used to host bus trips for
Mm,
us and the kids in the community to take us to all the different amusement parks.
mm-hmm.
She would have a fish fry in the backyard and invite all the neighbors. We would all come together. So you see how I like to have my backyard parties. So
Yes.
it comes from my mom. A
Wow.
lot of things that I do is emulated from what I saw my mom doing. and how she just loved people. She always instilled in us the importance of loving people,
Mm.
treating people how you want to be treated, and then you'll find out those that if you continue to treat them how you want to be treated and they
Mhm.
treat you differently, that means that's the person that you say, okay, you leave them by the wayside. But my mother used to host fish fries. We would all in seafood parties. We would all chip in, and she would go out and buy everything. We have crab legs, the blue crabs, hush puppies, corn on the cob. So when they do these crab boils these days, been there, done that. My mother was
Wow.
she was the queen of having seafood boils. We used to have good time.
Wow, that's amazing because I guess like what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because it's like your mom did the same thing. I've been to your home, I've seen you out, and you just carry yourself with so much energy and almost like a spirit of like, hey, you know what? I am showing up for me, not
Mhm.
anyone else. So, Diana, what is one lesson that your mom passed on to you?
The one lesson that my mom passed on to me was
Mm-hmm.
to never say never.
Mm.
You could do whatever you put your heart desire to your mind to. Never say never. Never say you can't do this. Never say you can't do that. Because you can do whatever you desire to do.
Wow.
And
And
I,
is that how you arrived as an entrepreneur in real estate through
mm-hmm,
that belief?
yep,
So
yep,
tell us a
everything.
little bit about that journey towards real estate.
So here's the crazy thing. Here's how I got into real estate. So I had been my brother Kenny, he's a real estate investor and
Mm-hmm.
he owns a bunch of houses in the city of Trenton and other areas as well.
Okay.
And him and his ex-wife used to own a real estate company. And for years they was trying to get me to get in, and I just wasn't ready then. I've always had a desire to get into real estate because
Mm-hmm.
I like helping people. I like helping the underdog. I like helping single mothers, and men who just having a hard time out in the world to achieve a goal of having their own home, right? So in 2020, when COVID hit, I had
Mm-hmm.
been with my company ETS for almost 20 years,
Okay.
and they lost a lot of money, so they bought us all out.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? I need to do something. Let me go get my real estate license. I am a procrastinator, I must say that. I still procrastinated and didn't go right away.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did, my daughter had a son who's autistic, so for about 2 years, I didn't work. I helped her take care of him. And then when I went back to work, I had one job and then I got recruited for another job. And the job that I got recruited for, I always worked in education and assessments. The job that I got recruited for, the company ETS ended up buying them out.
Okay.
So my position ended up getting eliminated. So that means I'm unemployed again. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Diana,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? What are you doing? So that was it. That was God's way of telling me, I'm going to keep taking these things away from you until you get it right. Because I've been
Okay.
telling you to go to real estate school and you ain't went. You have the money to go get
Mm-hmm.
it done. So that's what I said. You know what? Let me stop playing around because God keep taking these jobs away from me. Let me go on and get it done. So that's
Until
what
you
made
do
it.
what he says to do.
Yes. And that's what motivated me to go and get my real estate license because I've always had a passion to help people. That's just
Mm-hmm.
in my nature again from my parents. My parents were givers. and
Oh,
entrepreneurs.
okay. And so now that you are an entrepreneur and you are in the real estate arena, how has that shaped you as a woman and your whole thought process from going from corporation to now entrepreneur?
You know, Jermaine, it really hasn't changed who I am as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've always had the mindset of working hard,
Mm-hmm.
of going out and getting what it is that I need to get, whether I worked in corporate America or have my own. At the end of the day, I know that I had to accomplish things for me, for my family, to leave a legacy for my kids.
Yes.
So it didn't change that much for me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm still that I've had so many. Entrepreneurship is just in my blood. My father owned his own television repair shop.
Okay.
My mother owned a corner store
Hmm.
in Wilbur
Here in
section.
Trenton?
Yeah, in Wilbur section on
Oh,
Cleveland Avenue.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yep. My dad, Charlie's TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mom had the corner store on Cleveland Avenue, Cleveland and Walnut, back in the 80s.
That little corner.
Yes.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yep.
I
Yep.
grew up right in Wilbur section, going over to that
Oh,
area.
yep.
Yep. Yep. Oh, wow. Small world.
Yeah. So it's just something that's embedded in me to do,
Mhm.
you know?
What's a valuable lesson that you can share with women going from corporate to entrepreneur, or maybe in the same predicament that you were in, where companies are now, we see it every day, companies are now closing and women are now having to rediscover themselves, reinvent themselves in that career area. What advice would you give some women?
I would say don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you get depressed because you may not be able to get in the field or making the money that you were making. Just know that where there's a will, there is a way. And God always have a will, there's a way. And just push yourself. Pray until something happens.
Amen.
God is, I believe me, I may not go to church every Sunday, but I'm a believer. God will only put on us more than what we can bear. And for me personally, because I was not obedient when he told me to get my license the first time,
Mm-hmm.
now he has me in this stage of renewal,
Mm.
right? So I really didn't start my license, didn't become official until May of last year.
Okay.
So I'm just really out there working with people in rentals and making sure that they have a roof over their head
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, right? Is it my goal to sell homes? Yes. And get people into homes? Yes. But right now, God is saying, I want you to take your time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to prepare you and have you learn the lessons you need to learn in this real estate business until that big one comes. And it's coming. I know it's coming.
Wow.
And I'm just taking my time waiting until it comes.
Wow. It's so refreshing to actually hear your journey, because from a distance, you just see this woman and she's just confident, full of energy, but to see that you have went through being a single mom to going to college and then going from corporate America to entrepreneurship and all of that, and understanding that God had to be your anchor and you had to have faith. And you talk about being obedient, making sure that you follow after God and what He says. That's so refreshing to actually hear, the wisdom also that you're pouring out to women. So let's pivot. Let's talk about growth, love, and marriage. So, So, growth, love, and marriage. So, who is Diana married to, and how has marriage shaped you into the woman you are today?
So I am married to this man named Stephen Dwayne Brown.
Mhm.
As you can see, he still makes me blush. We're actually coming up on 11 years of being married.
Congratulations.
And he's actually my second marriage.
Okay.
The first one was a dud. And
Oh,
you
go
know,
ahead.
I'm sorry, it
Okay, okay,
was a
okay.
dud. I mean, we were together for a long time. And I
Mhm.
think with my first marriage, I only got married for the sake of my son instead of the
Mm.
sake of myself. You
Wow.
know, this time my marriage is was for me, because we built a friendship first before
Mm.
we made the decision to get married. you know he was my he still is, he's my road dog. We do just about any and everything together. And when he's absent from my presence, I can feel it. I'm like, I need my husband. And some people don't understand the dynamics of being in a loving, committed marriage relationship.
Mm.
We oftentimes spend a lot of time together outside of work, and
Mhm.
we enjoy each other's company. We literally have fun together. But there are times where sometimes I don't like him. We go at it. But at the end of the day, we remember what God said.
Yes.
We remember this ring. Like my pastor told us when we went through counseling, and I
Mhm.
advise any new couple that is deciding they want to get married, go to counseling. Find out
Okay.
what's going on before you say I do. And one of the things my pastor said to me, and I tell couples this all the time, you're going to go through some stuff.
Mm.
But if you really love your spouse and you're committed to making it grow, every time you go look at that ring, look at the reason why, you know.
Right.
And when from the outside looking in, people think that we have this perfect marriage, this perfect
Mhm.
relationship, our finances are great. Okay, we just make it look good, you know, because people out in the world don't need to know what goes on in our household.
And that's true.
We share enough to let them know we are human. We're going to
Mm.
go through things. There is days, and I just said this today. I said, there are days I know my husband can't stand me because my mouth is slick.
He's used to
Yeah. And there are
it.
days that I'm like, brother, don't make me go there, you know.
I know
But
that's
at
right.
the end of the day, we're committed to loving each other. And there's days that I'm going to file for divorce. Go ahead.
And
Go
go
ahead.
sit down and have a meal.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. I'm going in here and cook dinner.
Right. What you want?
Hmm. I'm leaving.
So
Okay.
your friendship dynamic seems so powerful. You talked about how you were friends first. And sometimes I hear, as a single woman, I've never been married, but I hear people say all the time, I love my spouse, but I really don't like them. How important do you feel like to be friends, like to actually enjoy the company of the person that you're with, and it just doesn't become like a marriage on paper and behind closed doors?
It is so important. It's
Mhm.
so important to build that because here's the thing. My husband, because we were friends first, he
Mhm.
knows when things are bothering me. He
Mm.
knows when I may be dealing with things at work or something is, and if I'm having a bad day, so I full transparency, I have an autoimmune disease. called
Okay.
psoriatic arthritis,
Okay.
and it affects my joints. And sometimes I may have flare ups.
Mm-hmm.
He can look in my face and know when I'm having those flare ups.
Wow.
And he'll come and massage me, take my shoes off, and make sure I'm relaxed, make sure I need whatever I need to kind of calm, help calm me down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important in a relation. And the same vice versa. I know when he's going through things and he need to go to the doctor, you know. That's my
Mm-hmm.
role as his wife to make sure that he stay healthy. And his role as my husband is to make sure that I stay stress free. And
Right.
and for the most part, we do that for each other.
Right. I
Yeah.
love how you basically you support one another, but then also earlier you said that, from the outside, people feel like, we're this couple,
Mm-hmm.
but we're human.
Mm-hmm.
We have our ups and downs. What is one common misconception that maybe the community or people have about Meet the Browns?
That we don't argue or fight.
So they just think you sit back and cocktails, travel, and everything is kumbaya. Really?
People like,
Okay.
oh my God, I wish I had y'all relationship. Y'all don't never fight or argue. I'm like, sometimes we go out and we may have just gotten into it before we got to the spot wherever we going. But we know how to.
I heard a married woman say, keep home at home. Don't you go out in public arguing with your spouse, arguing with your significant other. Let that stay behind closed doors. And like
Yep,
how you said, you go out and you leave home home. So
yep,
that's a good lesson.
yep,
But
yep.
continue. I'm sorry.
I don't. We could just been fussing about something.
Mm-hmm.
But when we go into a place, we smiling and greeting everybody and, acting like nothing ain't even that just happened, you know? And that's how it should be.
Yes.
Everybody don't need to know your business,
Right.
you
What
know?
advice would you give the younger couples are coming up? So we have like young couples, they are, getting married. What advice would you feel like at
Like I
your
said,
stage that you would give back to them?
like I said before, if you gonna go through some trials and tribulations, marriage is not easy,
Mm,
but remember why you fell in love with that person. Remember why you have that ring on your finger. And always remember it's okay to say you wrong. It's okay to forgive. Admit when you know you did something wrong or you said something that hurt his friend. Because my mouth is slick. And Mr. Brown has said to me, you hurt my feelings. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry.
ooh. But for him to be that vulnerable with you and say, you hurt my feelings, he don't shut down. He actually communicates that to you.
Mhm.
That's
And that
rich.
is so, communication is so important. You know, one of the biggest issues in marriages that breaks up a marriage is the lack of communications and finances.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two biggest things.
Yes.
We try
I
to we try to communicate, and I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and just talking about when if my husband doesn't have it, I got it. When we go out, I don't expect my husband to spend all his money on me, and vice
know that's
versa.
right.
If he got it, he would prefer to do everything, but I
Mm-hmm.
know there's times where there's bills in the house that he pays and everything, so his funds may be a little low, where I may have a little extra cash flow because I paid what bills I'm responsible for last month or a week ago, so I
Right.
have cash flow left over. And that's how it should be in any relationship or marriage. You have to balance. You cannot expect the man to take care of everything. You'll never
That's
survive.
right.
You won't survive in a relationship like that.
Mm.
Because I'm his helpmate. I'm here to
Oh,
help
that's
him.
right.
And that's what a lot of, and any advice that I would give to young women is that you were created by God as a
Mm.
helpmate, okay?
To help.
To help,
Yes.
not take advantage of, to help, you know,
Mm.
and vice versa. I'll tell a man that your wife is your helpmate.
That's right.
She's not your pedestal to step on. She's not your beating bag or none of that. She's not your maid, you
That's
know.
right.
You guys have to help each other. Because some days
That's right.
I do the cooking because I enjoy cooking, but there's times I'm like, babe, I don't feel like cooking.
Yes, I've seen your soups, and I was like, she just be making those soups, making that food. I'm
My
about to
soup.
send you the money for the buffalo chicken dip.
I don't know if I know how to make that. I haven't made that.
I was like, her daughter can make it. So,
But yeah,
Diana, how do you find balance in a marriage? Like, you guys are, you have this strong friendship, but how do you not lose who you are? And what advice can you give women out there with understanding that they have to keep who they are, but then also have that marriage blend too? You have to have that proper balance.
so it takes for the man to understand
Mm-hmm.
that his wife is her own person.
Okay.
Like Stephen understands. Perfect example. My girlfriends met up over at 45th Street Pub.
Mm-hmm.
I called him. I'm on my way home from work. 45th Street Pub is on my way home from work. I called him and said, babe, I'm going to stop over at 45th Street Pub. A couple of my girls are over there just to chit chat with them real quick before I come home.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, okay. He was like, do you want to come and get me? I was like, no, because I'm not staying here long. I got to get on a call with Jermaine.
So he wants you to come get him and go back and
I
then
was
come.
like, we're not doing all that, baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, well, I'll just go take my shower. Okay, I'll see you when I get home. You know, and allowing yourself to go out with your girls. I
Mm.
just came back from girls trip.
Okay.
You
I
know,
saw New Orleans.
yes, you
Yes.
gotta have your girls' time. You gotta have time with your female friends so that because there's things that regardless you want to vent, you can't say to your husband because you know it's going to cause friction or whatever. You can
Right.
say that stuff to your girlfriends and they be like, you just leave. But they always tell me to leave Stephen alone. Everybody loves Stephen. But we're able to have that fun time. And that goes true, hold true for the man too.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes my husband is an introvert, believe it
Really?
or not.
Okay.
I'm the one that brings out his
So
extra.
you guys have that balance.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And I be like, listen, call your boys up, go hang out. It's okay. I could stay home by myself, you know? And his boys be like, come on, Stephen, we're gonna go watch the football game, or I'll be like, go ahead, baby, enjoy yourself. And it's all about trust.
Right. Right.
Trust is what's important. If you have the lack of trust, you're not gonna have a good relationship. I trust my
Mm.
husband. And look, if he go
Amen.
out there and do something he ain't got no business, then that's on him.
Hey, I know that's right. So
What
who
can
is Get Down with the Browns? What
the
is
get down
behind that?
Browns?
So, huh?
The get down Browns.
The Get Down Browns. So
Yeah.
I know it's travel and cigar lounges and just social events. Tell us a little bit about.
You know what? My girl Stacy Mitchell is the one that gave us that name
Okay.
because whenever we out, we always getting down, we dancing, we enjoy, we
Mm,
love to dance too.
right.
So that's how we came up with the name of the Get Down Browns, is because we are always We getting down. We having a good time.
Right. You guys are having a good time.
So that's
Nobody else is there. You guys just like a party all by yourself. Yeah.
yep. And so that's how that name came about. She the one dubbed us as that name, to Get Down Browns. Because
So
whenever
you travel, you have cigar lounges,
oh
you have social events. How important is it to like have that connection? Because you have a following of individuals who love to travel with you. How important, as a couple and as an individual to you to have that connection to people?
I I think it's important because it's a balance. You get
Mm-hmm.
to be able to experience and see how others operate. And
Mm-hmm.
also, we're able to show other couples,
Okay.
you know, how even though we may go through challenges in our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
how to overcome those challenges, you know, and how to still love and care for each other no matter what.
Right. And how to enjoy life,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
how
how
to
to enjoy life because life is short. And
mm-hmm.
a lot of people are out there, miserable. But you
Yep.
guys, you show the community, you show, like this is what you can do. Yeah, we have our issues, we have our problems, but when we are out, we want to enjoy life. Like
Mm-hmm.
leave
Mm-hmm.
that separate. We'll go back home and we'll handle a list.
Yep.
But
Yep.
when we're out, we need to make sure that we enjoy it.
And one of the
So,
things, we don't hold grudges with each other.
okay.
You know, whatever we go through, we say what we have to say. I forget what we done argued about. He done forgot what we done argued about. And we just going on about our merry way. And one of the things that is important for me is for him and I to have our alone time, because we
Okay.
always with people. Sometimes I'll say, baby, we're gonna sit out on the deck, smoke our cigar, have our drink, listen to music. He be like, you want to invite the crew up? Nope. This is just
Wow.
me and you time.
So that's a balance too, understanding like, hey, you know what? We are socialites. We love connecting to other people, but then we have our alone time too. It's not
Mm-hmm.
all about, having people in our space.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I think I've seen you both just enjoying one another, having your own experience, your
Yeah.
own quiet time
Mm-hmm.
together. How
Yeah.
important is that as a couple?
It's very important
Mhm.
because you have to connect on a
Mhm.
higher level. You have to get that fire back in that relationship. Just as like when I got back from New Orleans
Mhm.
that Tuesday, he was like, "Come on, let me take you out to dinner." You know, just a little impromptu thing.
Yeah.
We went, got a
Yeah.
drink, and just sat there. It was just me and him, just chit chatting and having a good old time. You know.
Right.
And that's important. You have to be able to bond and make sure that that connection
Mm.
still there, and talk about your day and what's going on. What did you find crazy going on for the day? And just loving on each other is so important.
Right. And Diana, what advice would you give a couple out there because they might have lost their spark, their excitement for one another, their friendship, and their ability to just like, let's leave life here and let's continue to have fun and develop as a couple. What advice would you give some women out there or couples?
It's funny you should ask that question because I have a real life story going on like that.
Okay.
And I tell them both, write down your write down what the good things that has happened in your relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and what you consider is the bad things that happen in your
Mm-hmm.
relationship. If the good things outweigh the bad, then y'all just need to work it out. Because
Right.
in a marriage, you're going to go through, oh my goodness, you're going to have these ebbs and flows. You're going to have days where you don't, you like, why did I get married? And I
For
always
real.
point back to look at that ring. What was it about him? What was it about her that you
Mhm.
loved enough to say I do?
Wow.
What was it? I literally just had this conversation.
Some people I feel like, I hear, I have friends who are married, family members who are married, and I hear sometimes that couples get stuck where, they can't see that person that they actually fell in love with because life has happened and
Mhm.
so many ups and downs. So that part just becomes obscured,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
like you said, you gotta search for it and
Mhm.
look back at that ring and that symbol for that.
And the truth of the matter is you also have to be honest because people do fall out of love.
Mm,
People do genuinely don't find the person that they thought was their forever person,
wow.
their forever person. And you have to search within yourself to say, is this really what I want? Am I really happy? You know? And once you find search within yourself to say whether or not you're really happy or not, then
Hmm.
it's when you have to have a conversation with your significant other, your spouse.
Right.
We're adults. But listen, my last relationship, that joker said he didn't want to be in a relationship no more. I said, okay.
Just like that. Okay.
I said, I packed my stuff and left, you know?
Right.
But people, I don't understand that part of relationships where people can't understand that some relationships have expiration dates
Yes.
and
Yes.
some are meant to last forever.
Right.
I had to kiss a lot of frogs
Mm,
before I got my Prince Charming.
wow. And that takes me, you actually went right into the next segment because we know that the it's 90% single women, 10% single men out there. You found your Prince Charming, but like you said, you had to go through the dating pool in order to discover your person out there.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give some women some encouragement out there who are still trying to navigate through the dating process. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of my single friends, they just have washed their hands of even dating and getting out there and having hopes for marriage. Can you share some encouragement for women out there?
Here's what I would advise women: don't stop going out,
Mm-hmm.
but stop looking.
Okay.
Because that's what I did. I didn't stop going out, but I stopped
Mm-hmm.
looking. The minute I said, God, I'm done. I'm not trying to look for no man. I'm trying
Mm.
because I'm a hopeless romantic,
Right, right.
you know. I'm a hopeless romantic. But the minute I said I'm not trying to be in no relationship with no man, I'm not looking for no man, that's when he sent Mr. Brown, you know.
Right.
So you just have to still go out and enjoy your life and date. I Mr. Brown wasn't the only one I was dating when we was together.
Does he know
Yes.
that?
Uh-huh. And I was very transparent with
Right.
all the men that I dealt with. I said, we are non-exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't owe me nothing. I don't owe you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come popping up at my house because you might get your feelings hurt.
Right. And honestly, I see so many women like, when they date, they date and they get locked in to that
Right.
one person.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh gosh, now I gotta start over again. But your
Yeah.
advice is like date, like
Date.
date,
There's
it's
nothing
okay, and let
wrong with
everyone
dating.
know.
And see, the unfortunate thing is a lot of people equate dating to having sex.
Mhm.
It's not that.
Right.
Going out to dinner, going to the movies, you know, going to different events, that's dating,
Getting to know each other.
getting to know each other. It
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean it has to equate to sex. Now, if you want it to be that, just know, do not get your feelings into it. My
Yeah.
girlfriend used to always say to me, how can you do that and not have your feelings in it? I said, because part of me is a man. Because you
Yeah,
know,
I've gotten that too a little bit. You act like a man a little bit. I'd be like, now listen, and that's because of y'all.
yes, yeah. And sometimes you have to flip the script on them.
Right.
Like Steve Harvey said, act like a lady, think like a man,
I know that's right.
right?
Like a lady, think like a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Act like a
Yeah.
lady, think like a man. You have to think like them. Oh, so you think I'm supposed to wait for you? Oh, no, 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 buddy. That's not how that works. I'll
Yes.
call
I
you.
love that. I love it. I love
So
it.
that's
I
my
love,
advice for single women.
yes.
Enjoy your life. And believe me, when you surrender and say,
Mm,
God, I'm not looking for no man, he will send them. I have a girlfriend that's going through that right now,
mm.
and she's fighting it. And I'm like, girl, you we had this whole conversation and you said, Diana, I want to have me a man this year. And I said, stop looking.
Yeah, I said that too.
Stop. Well, the year just started. It ain't over.
It's almost June.
Well, can you
We'll
let May
see.
come through
We'll
first?
see if I have matching pajamas.
It'll happen. It'll happen. And sometimes you have to go outside of your comfort zone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Travel the world. Your man may not be in New Jersey.
And I've heard that too, where people say, if you only circling around the pool that you in, that's what you gonna pick from.
Yeah.
So you gotta get out, you gotta travel, do other
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
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 Diane, thank you for, coming on, sharing your wisdom, sharing your advice and your journey towards purpose, going from corporate to entrepreneurship as a single mom, a teen mom, and then just growing into the woman you are today. I thank you for that. I thank you for your time. Is there any last golden nuggets of advice that you want to just share with just women out there, period?
Just be you. You can't be nobody else
That's a
because
word.
everybody else is taken. Be you. Be your authentic self. You know,
Yes.
don't try to emulate nobody else.
Right.
Be your authentic self because what you see is what you
Mm,
get. I,
right.
I have never changed who I am. What you see is what you get. You know,
Right.
one of my husband friends was like, when me and my husband first got together, you don't know that woman. She bringing her what they call it? Oh, the word just slipped out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Her representative.
Oh, okay.
What? Nah, bro. What you see is what you get. There ain't nothing about Diana gonna change. I
Mm-hmm.
don't change. You gonna get the same big Diana, little no matter what size I am.
Right,
Who I
right, right.
am, my personality is not gonna change for anyone.
Right, right.
And I just women, be your authentic self and love on yourself. You know,
Yes.
if you need to take yourself out on a date, do it. Don't wait for no man
Yes.
to do it for you.
I'm
Do
tired
it
of that. No,
yourself.
I'm just kidding. Tired of taking myself out on the date now. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, I know it that it can be rough sometimes, but you know, and I I'm different. I'll approach a man if I see and because I approach my husband.
Okay.
I asked him to dance.
Mm-hmm.
I called him out on the dance floor. I bought him a drink for his birthday.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you met him on his birthday?
yeah.
Okay.
At Cooper's, it was Catmandu back then,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but that's where we met at,
Wow.
and we danced the whole The rest of the night, it was just me and him. I didn't even know he was with his sister. His sister walked past and whispered in his ear and said, "You know, there's other women in here, right?"
He like, nope, I got mine.
And the funny thing is, which is so crazy, we
Mhm.
had so many of the same friends, but never knew each other.
Timing.
Yeah. He used to hang out with my cousins, my first cousins at that.
Wow. And
Yes.
you talked about that, like basically how you stopped looking.
Yeah.
He was always right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Wow.
I remember saying to Nicole Jackson, because
Hmm.
they grew up together.
Hmm.
I went over to her because she was talking to her. I said, Nicole, get off my husband.
Before. Amen to that.
Yep.
Like you look at
Yep.
you.
Yep. And Nicole, she could attest, she tell that story all the time. She's like, Diana claimed Stephen a long time.
Before he even knew it.
Yep. So just being being single is hard. Being
Mhm.
married is harder.
Yes, because then you have that other person that you have to
Person.
be accountable to.
You got to be accountable. And that's the other thing where women, some women and some men think that they are not responsible or have to be accountable to their spouses.
Hmm.
Yeah. I ain't got to
I
tell him
would.
nothing. I ain't got to tell.
Okay. Okay.
How you married and you don't think that you need to let your spouse know that you leave in the house or that you're not coming straight home from work?
Right. Where they do that at?
I know. And so me and my husband, we have each other's location. And people
Yep.
like, I'm not doing that. What? I used to have to travel a lot
Hmm.
for business for the company that I work for. So that was the main reason why we did it. Not
Hmm.
because we were checking in on each other. It was
Right.
for safety reasons, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my kids have my access. Even my kids know, especially they all on my Lyft plan. If I get in a Lyft, all three of my kids know where I'm going and my husband.
Right. And
You
I
know?
think that's the way it should be because now
Yeah.
you're talking about safety. It's
Right.
not, okay, I just want to follow and know where that person is at. No, now it's
Right.
safety, like, and being accountable towards each other.
Right. And people don't understand that.
Hey, Diana,
You
I
have a
enjoyed
unique
our
personality.
conversation on this
Yeah,
evening. I
I
think I learned so
do.
much more about who you are just as a person, as the Browns. What is it? Get down with the
The
Browns.
Get Down Browns.
Get down, Browns. Get down with the Browns. Because I
People
was thinking
grow.
like Soul Train, like get
Yes.
down with the Browns. Okay. So your traveling that you do, your
Yeah.
community that you serve in, and just building connections, just being that influencer.
Mhm.
I wish you and Stephen all the best for
Thank you.
2026 and beyond. I wish you purpose and that you go from real estate to brokerage to whatever and just keep climbing that ladder in that area and just going after purpose. I thank you again for coming on tonight. This is Ageless Ambition. I am Jeraine Simmons, your podcast host. And thank you guys for tuning in for another great episode.